So you got to illuminate us. How does a guy from Sweden end up in Corvallis, Oregon? we got to know the backstory.
It's a long story. Basically, my dad played football in America. He's American, and then he met my mom while he was in the Navy and ended up in Sweden.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to play football, really. So
okay.
I was lucky enough to get a spot out here.
Describe football in Sweden? How do you get into playing? I can't imagine it's that popular, but
no, it's not at all as popular. I played hockey and soccer growing up. But then I kept getting penalties because I was tackling people. And then football, played Oklahoma drill first practice.
You were in?
Yeah, I was in.
Yeah.
So what kind of soccer player? Like a center back?
I was a goalkeeper. I was a goalkeeper, definitely.
So you're still tackling people as a goalie?
Yeah, I was coming out, we get a free attack. I'll come out and grab him.
Well, were there opportunities to play football as a little kid and going through high school and all that in Sweden?
It was only one football team in my hometown. And then it's several high schools throughout Sweden. But I went to the RRG Academy. Which was a great opportunity to make it out here and play football in Sweden as well.
And that had you probably had to travel for that, away from your hometown, or
I lived about 6 or 7 hours away from my hometown.
Oh, wow.
At that academy, and we all lived in the dorms, which made it a lot easier to come out here. Really, on the other side.
Right.
Would you just play in Sweden, or was it other countries too?
No, we weren't allowed to play other teams in Sweden. So we actually got to go to. We were in Paris. We went to London and played NFL Academy out there.
Germany.
So it was it was a lot of opportunities to go outside.
So did your dad kind of push the sport on you or introduce it to you, or how? Not so much?
Nah, he always watched the Super Bowl with me.
Yeah.
So growing up, I always wanted to, be American and, play football. And then I noticed my hometown had a team. So I joined that team when hockey gets pretty pro early. Mm-hmm. So around 13, I started playing football in Gothenburg.
And your dad, what was his football background?
No, he just played. He's from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
He played high school out there, and then he joined the Navy.
Okay.
So what was the process like? Just kind of getting connected with Oregon State staff. Could you take us through that whole process?
I was connected with Coach Lange through Simon Steinberg, who was here before. Yeah. Great guy, and he helped me out a lot coming out here. And him being out here made it easier for me to commit as well, since the staff knows how an international situation works. With the time difference, like 9 hours and stuff like that. So, and then just communicating and being on Twitter.
At what point in your life did you meet Simon?
The first time I met him was actually when I came out here for my official visit.
Okay. You guys didn't know each other?
No, I knew of him, of course. Like he was a football player, but he was older than me, so I never got to play with him in Sweden.
So did you reach out to him on Twitter?
It was like a little both. We followed each other, and and then I got connected with Coach Lange, and then I talked to him.
Gotcha. So when you're a kid, like, who's the Swedish football player? Like, who's the star? You know what I mean?
Probably a Swedish black guy. Have you heard of him? Who got drafted? Gian Mark.
Okay.
He's a pretty big guy out there. But I looked up to other guys at the academy, like Victor Wikström or Ludwig Burrell, who also went D1 from Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah, so mostly those guys.
When you got here and started playing collegiately, how much did you know then versus what you know now?
Wow, I thought I knew a lot coming from Sweden and compared to other athletes around Europe, but we came out here, it's a whole different game. But it was mostly the speed part I had to learn. Just how fast the game goes and having to take in different points and information really fast.
Do you view yourself more as a run stopper or a pass rusher or all of the above? Or
I get in there and mess it up.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to run my fastest and work my role.
So exciting. It seems like you're kind of living your dream.
Definitely.
And you got to take an official visit, which a lot of international athletes don't get a chance to come and see Corvallis before they commit and they're on campus and they're doing their sport. But what attracted you to Oregon State?
I had been on a PPI recruits tour before with Brandon Collier, who goes all around America to different campuses like Texas A&M and Penn State and other places like this. But when I came out here, it was first of all, yes, the environment, Sweden, it's just like Sweden almost. It's a little hotter. It's definitely a little hotter out here, but it's like Sweden looks like it. A lot of trees, and then just the staff and the area and the campus and school, everything just fit in perfectly.
With the fire and everything, what was that experience like? I know you weren't there and you kind of went back, but just
talking
losing
about my apartment.
Yeah, just losing everything. I mean, you lost everything, right? That you had.
Yeah, I lost. Everything except for the stuff I was wearing.
Yeah.
But it was. He brought me closer to football. Definitely brought me closer to God. Just made me see the important stuff in life. You know what I mean? I had all these stuff that I thought was important that I brought from Sweden, and it just really showed me that it's more important stuff in life than just material.
What was the worst thing you lost?
Xbox?
Pictures or something?
Nah, I
like
had my dad had a hoodie that he used to wear in the Navy that he gave me when I was back in Sweden before I got out here, and I lost that.
And I guess what ways did the school and teammates, how did they help you out during that?
I
stretch?
was surprised. It's different out here. Like everybody in the whole team shipped in, parents, coaches, old coaches, players. So everybody helped out and was really supportive. You know, we had places to live. We stayed at a hotel.
Yeah.
Players on the team obviously gave us a spot as well.
What would you view, looking at the line, a lot of turnover there? What do you think you guys do well, and I guess how would you just describe the potential of the front that you guys bring?
I feel like we play with a lot of speed this year. I think it's going to be a lot of speed, a lot of new young guys. So it's a lot of hustle out there. You know, people chasing a spot that's not really solidified yet. So, you know, it's a lot of energy and it's going to be a fun season, definitely.
I keep hearing people compare you to Hodgins. What do you think about that? And how important was he in your development as a young kid?
Huge. Yeah. Hodgins, like the first week, even when Simon was still here, he hadn't even left Corvallis yet. I was out here with Simon, Hodgins, and the cold, you know, working out. Yeah. He moves in. Hodgins told me, you know, some of the little guy moves, little wax lips and stuff like that.
What do you smiled when I said that? Why is that funny?
Hodgins, like, he's been like this. In a press conference last year, told me I was his son or something. I'm like, crazy work.
Sounds about right. I mean, he was married.
No, he's my son for sure.